The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Rev Kahneman was very famously known as the Panovich Rav. Tremendous man. He rebuilt the lives of the shattered people after the Holocaust in Eretz Israel. They took many people, gave them back, built up their lives. He himself, his own family, was completely wiped out. His wife, all of his children, he had to remarry. He built a family again. He built a yeshiva again when he came back to Eretz Israel. Amazing man. He built the yeshiva called Panovich, probably one of the most famous yeshivot around today in Bnei Brak. When he was a young man, he was traveling in Europe to a very famous place called the Yeshivat Telz. And in this yeshiva in Telz, he was traveling towards this place, and he decided on the way, you know something, I'm on my way. The Gadol Hador, he lives in Radin. His name is the Chafetz Chaim Rav Yisrael Meir HaKohen. I'm going to go visit him on the way. I'll get a bracha from the Gadol Hador. He arrives at his little hovel of a house, and there's the people of the house are there in the house, and he asks if he can come in to get a bracha from the Chafetz Chaim. He says, sure. There's a man there in the house. His name is Rav Hirsch, one of the people from the household, and he says to him, he says, I don't know if it's a good time now. I can hear there's someone's crying, someone's screaming. It sounds hectic. Maybe I'll come back later. So he smiled. Rav Hirsch smiled. He said, no, it's fine. He said, was everything okay? Who's screaming? I hear someone screaming, someone's crying. What's the problem? Is there anything I can do? Rav Hirsch said, no, it's fine. Again, smile. He looks around. Nobody in the house seems bothered by the fact that there's these screamings that could wake the dead are coming up, carrying through the house. He says, but please, he goes, you got to tell me what's going on here. He said, the Chafetz Chaim, he's on the rooftop, and he's praying. He said, who's he praying for? He says, some lady. He says, which lady? He says, I don't know. He says, is it his wife? No. Some lady. We don't know who it is. Someone said that there's a lady who's having difficulty giving birth, difficulty in childbirth. And the Chafetz Chaim, they told the Chafetz Chaim, so he went upstairs and he's praying for her. He's praying to Hashem, Tehillim, Rifaenu Hashem. He's praying with all of his heart that she should get better. This is what the tefillah of the Chafetz Chaim sounds like. It's like this yesterday, it's like this today, this is how it's going to be tomorrow. So no, we're not worried. Everyone's very calm because we're used to it. The Panovich Rav Kahneman said, this is what the Chafetz Chaim sounds like for a person he's never met. I don't need to go study in a yeshiva anywhere else. I'm coming here. I'm joining the yeshiva in Radin, the yeshiva of the Chafetz Chaim, the yeshiva of a person who could care for a Jew that he never met this way. And many of those lessons he took on board and became part of his calling card for the rest of his life. Natan enav v'libo lihiyot metzar alehem. Not everybody has the time to be a full-time volunteer for a tzedakah organization. Not everybody has the time, to greet people every day. But my friends, I want to ask you a piercing question. Maybe you don't have time always. Maybe you don't have time every day. Maybe you can't do it for a tzedakah that you're the number one front man, face of that charity. But can you do it every once in a while? Can you pick a case here and there? One story, one occurrence, one tragedy, where you step up with your eyes and your heart, lihiyot metzar alehem. What can I do? How can I help? How can I go beyond the letter of the law? How can I visit and actually figure this out, but on a really deep level?
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org